Okay, so I used to work at a. Have you ever had to take a drug test
Nope.
for a job?
Nope.
Really?
Mm-mm.
They don't care at hair salons.
No, which you would think they would. Like,
I wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't think so.
really?
I just
You
feel
would
like
want somebody lit doing your hair?
I wouldn't want someone. I'm not saying I would want someone doing my hair. I'm just saying like I feel like I feel like almost every job where
But
they
a lot of
they
hairstylists smoke
test you.
weed,
Oh yeah. I'm not surprised about that.
right?
For some, yeah, that does not surprise me.
So,
But I just that's not the only job. What other? Actually, I think that might be the only job I've ever had to get drug tested for. Was that Starline job, which is so weird because it's like it's not that weird of a. It's like we're not doing anything serious. I'm literally selling tours.
I didn't even get drug tested at the daycare I worked at. But I wasn't smoking weed back then. I wasn't, but I never got drug tested for it.
You probably didn't look cool enough to get drug tested. They're probably like, she looks lame.
Dang it. I wasn't smoking weed, so.
All right, this is kind of like a little bit of a cringe and nasty story. All right, so listen to this. I was working as a dispatcher, and then I forgot what happened, but basically like something happened in the company where they basically told me like, hey, sorry, like these changes are happening. We're moving to a different location, and we're like not taking you with this type shit or whatever. And I was like, okay, like they basically laid me off, and then like I lost that job, and I was like, fuck, like what job should I get? And then at that time I was working there for a year, and the previous job I was working for a year, it was like both office jobs, so I really wanted a job where I like talked to people and actually like interacted with people and shit. So I went to go. My friend Alan was already working at Starline. He's like, bro, like you should apply over here. Like it's pretty chill. You can make it's like commission based, so you can make more money depending on how hard you work and shit. So I was like, okay. I went over there, basically passed the interview, and they said like you have to go get drug tested. And then I was like, oh fuck, like and I asked Alan. I was like, yo, Alan, how'd you do the freaking the drug test, because I know he smokes weed like crazy. And then he's like, oh dude, he's like, it's easy. He's like, all you have to do is get a non-lubricated condom. He's like, get your homie, or get, basically he said like get some clean pee, put it into a non-lubricated condom, tie the non-lubricated condom off, duct tape it to the inside of your thigh.
Wait,
So
I feel like this was not the story you were telling me about.
no, it'll go on. It'll get to the point that you heard earlier.
Okay.
You duct tape it to your thigh so that you keep it the same temperature as your body. Because one thing they pay attention to is what temperature the piss is that you give to them or whatever. So you keep a duct tape to you so it keeps the same temperature. And then he basically told me that they can't watch you do the test. You have to go to your own bathroom and just do it yourself. So he said that he went inside the bathroom, had a little needle, poked the hole in the condom, and squirted whatever was in the condom into a cup and gave them the cup, and then he passed a drug test. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. One problem is all my fucking friends smoke weed. I didn't have one friend that did not smoke weed, so I was like, oh fuck, like I'm in trouble. And and then I was scrolling through my Instagram. I was literally scrolling through my Instagram, like looking for one of my friends that did not smoke weed that I was close enough to be like, hey, can I have some piss or whatever. So I hit up I started scrolling through my Instagram, and then I remembered that I'm still following my friend Vova that I've known since second grade. I've known him like my whole life. Like I've known my whole life basically since like elementary school. And I remembered that Volva was in firefighting training. He wanted to become a firefighter, so I was like, oh perfect, he's for sure not smoking weed. But I haven't talked to Volva since like fucking elementary graduation or something like that. We just found each other on Instagram, followed each other, said what's up, and like that's it. Like we just haven't seen each other since elementary. So I DM'd Vova. I was like, yo dude, what's up man, how's it going, blah blah, like how's everything been? He's like, good, like how are you? I'm like, oh good. I was like, I'm looking I'm applying for this job right now, and like I really need to get this job. I was like, but I just need clean piss, dude. I was like, would you be able to bring me some of your pee, because I know that you're like you don't smoke and shit.
I'd be like, okay, this fool is hitting me up right now for this piss.
And I hit him up like at 8 p.m. It was so funny. And then he was just like, and he
wow.
was, and he was like, I guess I could I can do it. He was like kind of like weirded out by it, but he like wanted to be a homie and like hook and like help me out. So he was like, okay, like whatever, like I got you. And then I was like, for sure. And he's like, I'll stop by. He's like, I'm actually home right now. He's like, I'll pee into a bottle and I'll drop it off. Like, and he lived up the street from me. And I was like, okay, for sure. Calls me like an hour and a half, 2 hours later. and he's like, yo, dude, like I'm about to pull up, like come outside. So I come outside, and he's like, he pulls up. He's like, yo, dude. He's like, I'm sorry, man. Like I don't know what it is, but I couldn't get that much pee out. He's like, I only got this amount, and then he like gave me this water bottle that had like barely any pee in it, and I was just like, fuck, dude. I was like, okay, whatever. Like I'll have to make it work. So my test was the next day. So the next day I do the whole thing that Alan told me. I get a non-lubricated condom, because if you get a lubricated condom, it fucks with the test. So you have to get a non-lubricated condom. I put his fucking pee in the non-lubricated condom, duct taped it to my fucking thing, took a pin, put a pin onto my fucking thing, onto my shirt, and I was like, all right, let's go get this test.
Jeez,
And
that'll work.
I know exactly. And what's funny about this test is oh yeah, you were able to drive there. You can either take a bus there that they provided, or you can drive there. So I fucking drove there. I sat in the waiting room for like 10-20 minutes. It took a hell of a long time. And I also met one of my coworkers that I worked with in the future that was just like really weird dude in the fucking waiting room. And then I finally go to the doctor. Doctor's like, oh, here's this cup. I go piss in it, go to the bathroom. It's down the hall. I'm like, okay. I go to the bathroom, and then like for some reason, like I'm just so nervous. Like my hands are like shaking. I'm just like so nervous about the situation. And then I go to the bathroom. I take the pin off my shirt, and like I take the cup, and I'm like holding it under my the fucking the duct tape got super sweaty and shit. So the thing was already all loose, so I just took it off. I was like, okay, I'm gonna hold the condom and just poke a hole in it and squirt it into the cup. And it was hard to like hold the cup, hold the condom, and hold the needle at the same time. So I was trying to finesse that. As soon as I poke a hole into the fucking tip of the condom, it just shoots out of my hand like a rocket and just goes and just fucking and just starts squirting Volvus piss all over my face, like sweater and pants. And I'm just like, oh my god. I fucking like grab it, like pinch it as hard as I can with my hand. It was already barely any piss. Now it's even half of that. It's like fucking half of it got all over the floor and all over me. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, this is fucking terrible. I like take the rest of the piss, dump it in this fucking thing. I'm so frustrated and pissed off at this point. I'm just like, bruh. And then
Pissed off.
shut up. And then I go to the fucking doctor. I give it to him, and he's just like, oh man, like what's going on? This is barely any piss. Like and he's like this is where it gets kind of scary, because he's like yo, this is barely any piss. He's like I'll try to run the test, but he's like, if it doesn't come back, you're gonna have to drink water and take another test. And I was like, I'm fucking fucked or whatever. Luckily he comes back and he's like,
Surito your shit.
a Surito?
Isn't that what it's called?
What's that?
Supposedly the remedy to like clean your piss.
Oh, it's like a chemical you drink?
It's like gelatin.
Oh, what
and
the
it's
fuck?
supposed to clean your piss.
I think we could buy it at like CVS and shit.
Mhm.
Okay, I think I've heard of it. And basically he came back and
Anyways,
said it was
go
more
on.
than enough, and like it came back negative and shit, and I got the job. But I fucking came home, and I swear I took the hottest shower I've ever taken, and I washed myself like 3 times. I fucking washed my hair, I body washed myself so many fucking times. I was so disgusted by the fact that I was covered in my homie's piss. I was like, bruh. And
That's crazy.
what's even like more funny about it is like he hit me up like 2-3 days later, and he was like, yo, Yuriy, how'd it go? Were you able to get the job and shit? And I didn't even want to tell him what happened. I was so embarrassed. I didn't want to be like, dude, I got your pee all over me. Like I just didn't even.
But it came back clean, right?
Yeah, it came back clean. I got the job and shit. But like, I just never even told him about that whole situation because I was so
That's
embarrassed
funny.
by it. But dude, it was fucking terrible.
That is crazy.
I got the job though.
See, I'm glad you didn't tell me the rest of the story because I was not expecting that.
I can't remember if I said this on Ten Talks before or not.
No, you didn't.
I can't believe you've never had to take a drug test for a job. Like what?
I know.
I feel like so many people have done that.
I've been #blessed with that. But
Imagine No Jumper starts drug testing.
okay.
House phone's list of fucking drugs comes back like this long. They're like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.